Today, we're diving into what is basically a modern-day David and Goliath story. It's a battle between this incredibly wealthy developer who's used to getting exactly what he wants and a local mechanic who just refused to be pushed aside. It's all about how immense power can be challenged by the simple, undeniable truth. This right here, this quote really gets to the absolute heart of the whole conflict. It's the core belief of a man who genuinely thought his wealth and his influence made him completely untouchable. But as we're about to see, that belief was nothing more than an illusion. A very powerful one, sure, but an illusion nonetheless. And this is the story of how it all came crashing down. Okay, so our story kicks off in a single city, but it's really about two men living in completely different universes. Their lives are running on these parallel tracks, never meant to intersect, but they're about to collide in a way that will change everything for both of them. I mean, you just can't get more opposite than this. On one side, you have Rashid Mehra, the giant. We're talking the city's richest property developer. Big cars, private security, powerful political friends. The guy has one simple rule. You just don't go against him. And on the other side, there's Imran, a 27-year-old mechanic. He lives a simple life, takes care of his sick mom in their small rented house, and always pays the rent on time. Worlds apart, right? But a collision was coming. So what happens when a giant like Rashid wants something that a mechanic like Imran has? Well, you're about to see that power isn't just a shield, it can be a weapon. And Imran is about to find that out the hard way. And just look at how fast this all went down. On day one, Rashid's crew shows up with a warning. Just 2 days later, the bulldozers are there, flattening Imran's entire livelihood, his tools, customers' bikes, his savings, everything. But it didn't even stop there. That same night, a completely bogus police report for theft is filed against him, and by the next day, he's arrested and thrown in jail with zero evidence. This was never a property dispute. This was a systematic takedown. 11 days. Think about that. For 11 days, Imran sat in a jail cell while his whole world was being torn apart. And while he was locked up, the stress was taking a huge toll on his mother. Her health got much worse. For a guy like Rashid, this was just another Tuesday. Just business. But for Imran, this was his entire life. But just when it seems like all hope is completely lost, the story takes this incredible turn. A single piece of evidence pops up, and it proves that sometimes the smallest thing can make the biggest difference in the world. And this is really the central question of the entire story, isn't it? When the system itself feels like it's working against you, when a guy with endless money and power is dead set on crushing you, how in the world do you fight back? Well, the answer came from the most unlikely place you could possibly imagine, a witness that Rashid's whole powerful operation completely missed, a local tea seller who happened to have an old cell phone. And this is what his phone caught. That's the voice of Rashid's manager recorded right as the demolition was happening. And it's so much more than just an order to tear down a building. It's a full-blown confession to a conspiracy. Case already handled, police are with us. In that one sentence, the entire narrative just flips on its head. But this video didn't just appear out of nowhere. The tea seller was understandably terrified, and for weeks he kept quiet. I mean, who could blame him? But then, he saw Imran's mother actually collapse outside the courthouse, and that was it. That was the breaking point. His conscience just took over, and he made the incredibly brave decision to give that video to a local journalist. And once that video was out in the open, well, that carefully constructed wall of power that Rashid had built around himself just started to crumble. It was like the first domino in a long line. The chain reaction was immediate. It all happened in stages, one thing leading to the next. First, the video goes viral, and the public is furious. That forces the media to cover it, which then puts so much pressure on the police, the very same police force, that they have to open a real investigation. Digital forensics proved the video was 100% authentic. And then came the final nail in the coffin: bank records, showing a bribe from Rashid to a local officer. The system that had been turned into a weapon against Imran was now forced to turn right back around. And the result? A complete 180-degree reversal of fortunes. Imran, the guy who'd been framed, was declared innocent. All charges just dropped. Meanwhile, Rashid, the untouchable giant, was arrested. And not just for the demolition, but for a whole list of things, including corruption and filing a false police report. So, what did justice actually look like in the end? Well, the story wraps up with a final and pretty dramatic outcome for both the giant and the mechanic. The final scoreboard was pretty stark. Rashid was sentenced to 7 years in prison. He got hit with massive fines, and a whole new investigation was opened up into all his other properties. And Imran? Well, justice for him came in the form of court compensation. But it went way beyond that. The public just rallied around him. People started donating, and with their help, he rebuilt his workshop, bigger and better than it was before. You know, when it was all said and done, a journalist asked Imran if he hated Rashid for everything he put him through. And his answer was just so profound. He said no, because in the end, he lost more than I did. See, Imran understood that while he'd lost a workshop, Rashid had lost everything that actually matters: his freedom, his reputation, his fortune. Imran got his life and his dignity back. And that's really what we want to leave you with. It's easy for us to watch the story from the sidelines and cheer for the underdog, but really think about it. If you were faced with that kind of overwhelming power, with a very real risk of losing everything, what would you have done? Would you have had the courage to fight back?